All right. Good evening, everyone who is part of this training at this moment. If you are in Nigeria, and of course, to a larger extent, if you are in West Africa, good evening to you. And if you are in another part of the world that we are listening to me at the moment, I want to greet you according to the time zone you are if it is in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Good day to you, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this special episode of a training study series, which is on Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric. This special edition is going to be a minimum of 15 episodes. It is likely to be a maximum of 20 episodes. So we are targeting between 15 and 20 episodes from the onset. I'm very sure that you are going to enjoy this series of the learning, and I want you to be part of this training from the beginning to the end so that you can derive maximum benefits for being part of this study series. All right, and I want to assure you that at the end of today's session, you become more educated, you become more enlightened, and you will also be technically savvy on the use of Microsoft Fabric. I was at a training one day, and somebody said he has had so many stories about Fabric, and the way I was able to take them through that session, he got to know that Fabric is not about the cloth, but it's about how solutions are being built on Microsoft platform, which help us to solve a lot of data related issues. And those are the things that we'll be looking at under this specific series that you are in for. So you are going to enjoy it, and I want you to create time and also pay attention during the discussions so that maximize your time. All right, just give me a minute. Let me bring my slides on board, um, which is going to be our major focus of discussion tonight. All right, let me share my slide. Just a moment. Um, I want to share my slide window and share. All right, perfect. I think you should be able to see my screen by now. All right, so this special edition is known as Mastering Microsoft Fabric from Data to Insight. And of course, this is the first episode of the training that is known as a beginner's guide to Microsoft Fabric. This is being presented by my humble self, my popular Sakala Milekon. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I specialize on data, artificial intelligence, and automation of business processes. So now let us take the presentation outline for tonight. Yes, there will be a little bit about who I am as the speaker. There will be an introduction to the series and look at different data roles, data professionals, tools, and their challenges, the transitions in the analytics world, what is Microsoft Fabric, the different workload in Microsoft Fabric, and why Microsoft Fabric is a game changer. And of course, we'll be looking at demos and also question and answer. So the idea is that I don't want to preempt anybody that will be part of this series as somebody that has background knowledge about what data is, what has been the journey so far, and what has been challenges as regard different data professionals. So I want to take it from an holistic point of view that okay, I want to address somebody who doesn't know what data is, or I want to address somebody who does not know the relationship between different data professionals, or somebody who does not know what has transpired over time before the advent of Microsoft Fabric. So that's a little bit of digress that at what has happened in the past that has created room for Microsoft Fabric to be on board and for us to discuss about it in this series. All right. For introduction, yes, this is a study series that I did mention, and it's going for minimum of 15 weeks and maximum of 20 weeks. And they'll be looking at so many issues around Microsoft Fabric because that is the icing on the cake at the moment. Anytime, anywhere that we are discussing about data landscape, right? Microsoft Fabric is always on top of the game. And that is why we are paying attention to what is it all about and how can we derive maximum benefits from Microsoft Fabric. All right, so a little bit about who I am. I'm information technology specialist with more than 12 years work experience. I specialize on cloud technologies with particular attention to data and artificial intelligence. For business intelligence and data analytics, I also take part in automation of business processes where I help organizations on how they can automate their business processes. I take part in designing and review of exam questions. I also engage myself in corporate IT technical training where I consult for organizations in Nigeria and in abroad. I also take part in a tech-based community services where we help younger ones or newbies who want to be part of tech evolution and they don't know where to start with. We offer them mentorship as a community person. I also had privilege of leading so many tech-based organizations across the globe. Yes, I have a master's degree in information production and management. I'm a specialist by training, and I have around 12 Microsoft certifications to my advantage from different diverse areas of technology. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer, like I mentioned. I'm also certified by International Computer Driving License as a global trainer. All right, so the idea is that before we go deeper into Fabric, what has been a system before now? Now, there are a lot of data rows, right? Before the advent of data technology, people used to analyze data, right? People used to have different tools to analyze their data. And by the time the technology came on board and the issue of data technology came on board, the people that we used to know about data professional were people that probably studied data, probably studied statistics in university or they study mathematics until when cloud technology came and when digital technology came that internet is being added into the way that we analyze data and a lot of other job roles, came on board, and that's why we have people like professionals like data engineers, we have data analysts, we have database administrators, we have data scientists, right? So now the idea is that with the evolution of how data is being managed, how data is being organized, and how data is being used for the good of humanity, so many other data roles came on board, and that's why we have different data job roles like data engineering. When you're talking about data engineering, we are talking about building and maintaining the infrastructure needed to collect, store, and process large volume of data. So the idea is that if somebody is an engineer, is a data engineer, the person is responsible solely for building infrastructures and maintaining infrastructures on how data can be collected. For instance, do we want to collect data manually or we want to collect data digitally? Or what are the infrastructure or what are the tools and the devices that we need to put in place in order to collect, in order to store, in order to process large volumes of data. For instance, now, if it is just a small size of data set, oh, we can say we should use Excel. If it is not bigger too, we can say, okay, maybe we should use database, right? But if it is getting bigger than the expected, and I say, okay, what are the other tools that we can use because of the volume that we have? So those are the things that data engineers do. We also have what data analysis. In data analysis, we are looking into how we can explore, how we can interpret, and how we can visualize data in order to make informed decisions. Organizations take decisions based on the available proposal. So the way and manner on how we explore, how we interpret, and how we visualize data in order to make informed decision is known as what the data analysis. We also have another area of data job role, which is known as database administration. Under database administration, we are talking about how we can manage and maintain databases to ensure performance, to ensure security, and to ensure availability. Performance is the sense that, okay, we are looking for a particular table, we are looking for a particular row, we are looking for a particular column, or we are looking at how data are being related. So it is a kind of setting up a database administration that give us a better performance in terms of security, who has access and who does not has access, in terms of availability, how best can data be available for further analysis and some other operations that we need to do. Well, in the area of data job roles, we also have what we call data science. In the area of data science, we are looking at what the use of advanced analytics, machine learning, and statistical models to uncover patterns and make predictions. Now, the idea is that I'm trying to let us be aware of the different job roles and relationship between them and differences between them, right? Because somebody can be get confused. Oh, I don't know the difference between data engineer and data scientist. I've seen people who ask me, is it data engineering I should do, or is it data science, without even knowing which one is which one. So that is the idea about when you're talking about making predictions, making use of advanced analytics, making use of machine learning. You are talking of data science. All right. So now with different data job roles that I've just explained, coupled with traditional tools that each one of them use and challenges that they have faced in the past. As a data engineer, your traditional tool is to make use of Azure Synapse Analytics, or to make use of Azure Data Factory. What do? You work on complex orchestrations, which give you sometimes slow development cycle. For data analysis, they work on traditional tools such as Power BI, Microsoft Excel, manual refresh, and what kind of challenges do they encounter? They encounter broken reports or clear data lineage. For data scientists, they use traditional tools such as the data bricks. They also use Azure machine learning. And what are the challenges they face? They face model deployment friction and siloed workflow. For database administrator, they use tools such as SQS Server, SQL Server. They also use SSIS. Do they have any challenges at all? Yes, they do. They have challenges in terms of maintenance body. Sometimes they can have cases of scattered data. For business analysts, or for business or decision makers, they have traditional tools in terms of ad hoc dashboards that are being prepared for them by analysts. They also have challenges. Yeah, they may have cases of delayed insight or inconsistency AI, key performance index. As decision maker, maybe I'm the CEO of a company, maybe I'm the manager of a company, or maybe I'm a director in one of the branches of operations. People want to see what happens in real time now, not the kind of the visualizations that people see maybe after a day, maybe after 2 days, or after a week. So now those are the kind of challenges that each one of data professional they face. And then with the advent of Microsoft Fabric, it has helped each one of the data professionals, to work better, to be more efficient, and to be more productive by making use of different tools in terms of what Microsoft Fabric has provided. So instead of traditional tools, data engineer now in Fabric, they make use of data flow gen 2. They make use of pipelines, data pipelines, in order to do what? In order to unify and monitor their data integration processes. For data analysis, what they use now is they make use of Direct Lake, which offers seamless connections to OneLake. For data scientists, instead of their traditional tools and challenges that they used to face in the past, In the Microsoft Fabric, they can make use of notebooks, which can help them to share lake access. For database administrators, coupled with the challenges that they used to face in the Microsoft Fabric today, they have what we call warehouse and Lakehouse, which help us to manage storage with what with OneLake. And so also the business decision makers, they have rating, they have access to real-time reporting with direct link, which also offers unified semantic model. All right, so now I also need to give us an understanding about what has happened in the past. Now, the idea is that in the analytic world, in the data analytic world, we all started from using Microsoft Excel for so many years. Excel has been one of the um, inventions that has ruled the world for so many years. For so many years, up to today, Excel is still ruling in terms of data analytics world. So now there was a time that we were used to what? We were used to making use of Excel for our data analysis, right? So thereafter, there was an invention that came on board because of peculiarities of Excel. Because Excel has a limitation in terms of number of rows that it can work with, right? Anything above 1,048,000, Excel may not be able to perform very well in terms of number of rows. But there was an advent of what Power Query, which can do a lot of wonders in terms of transformation, in terms of data cleaning, in terms of data transformation, and that was incorporated into Excel just to extend the capabilities of Excel. So after some time, people also said, okay, we can see what Excel can do, we can see what Power Query can do, but we need a better visualization that is more than what Excel can offer. We need a robust environment that can help us in building dashboard, that can help us in building what? In building reports. And that was what necessitated what we now call today as what? Power BI. Now, after Power BI, there was also a need for us to move entirely into the cloud. Mind you, Power BI also offer cloud environment because we have three types of ecosystem for Power BI. We have Power BI desktop, we have Power BI service, and we have Power BI mobile. So after that exploration of Power BI, people now say, okay, we want to go to the cloud fully. That okay, for Microsoft Power BI, you have to download software, you have to install software. What of if you are not access if your laptop is not accessible? How can you do work? How can you collaborate? How can you do a lot of stuff? So Microsoft now, okay, what can I give you? Now Microsoft came about Synapse Analytics, which is fully integrated into Microsoft Azure, which is the cloud platform for Microsoft products and services. So after that, Microsoft now said, okay, you guys, it's not better to bring all data professionals together, data engineer, data engineers, data scientists, database administrators, and different kinds of data roles. That okay, is it not better to give you a software as a service, SaaS, a software as a service, whereby all data as what as a team and deliver products and services as required. So that was necessitated the need for what? The need for Microsoft Fabric. So in essence, what Microsoft Fabric has been able to do is to leverage on all individual products that have been able to do different job roles in data space and also integrate them all together. We'll see that how it plays out just now. Now, so now the question will now be, okay, if that's what Microsoft Fabric can do, what do we mean by Microsoft Fabric? Microsoft Fabric is a single environment where you can store, process, transform, analyze, and visualize your data without jumping between multiple disconnected tools. Now, the idea is this. Imagine I'm working on a project that involves so many data professionals. Maybe Data analyst is on the project, database administrator is on the project, data engineer is on the project, and we also have decision maker, which is maybe a director or chief executive officer on the project. Now, we can have all this as a team, as a data team, and because of what happened in the days on former time, the traditional tools were being, each one of them, each one of the professionals, they also work in silo by doing their work, then waiting for somebody else to come and collect what they have done, or for them to send what they have done to somebody else to continue the job. Now Microsoft now say, okay, you guys, is it not better that we have a single environment that data engineer can be accommodated, data scientist can be accommodated, database administrator can be accommodated, data analyst can be accommodated, so that uh, there will be no there will be no disconnection between data professionals. And that's why Microsoft Fabric was created. And Microsoft Fabric combines multiple services, such as what we used to have before as Science Analytics in Azure, likewise independent Power BI and Azure Factory, Data Factory, and the Data Explorer. So all of this are now being integrated together into a single environment to now have what we call Microsoft Fabric. Now, we have different workloads in Microsoft Fabric. When we are talking about workload, we are talking about different services that we have. What are different services that we have in Microsoft Fabric? We have data engineering. We call them sometimes experience. We have data engineering. We have data factory. We have data science. We have data warehouse. We have real-time analytics, we have Power BI, and we have what? So each one of all these are what constitute the components of what? The core component of Microsoft Fabric. I did mention that data professionals were working in silos, but as at now, everybody are now being put together. For instance, now in data engineering, what they do in data engineering is to manage and build data pipelines by using what? Notebooks, Spark, and Notebook, Spark, and what? Data flow gen tool. So all these are the tools that are being used by data engineers in the Microsoft environment. For data factory, what do we do in data factory? We are talking about orchestrating and automating data movement and transformation using pipelines and what? And data flow. So the idea is that we are talking about how we can integrate and automate data movement and transformation by using pipelines and what? And data flow. We also have a component in the Microsoft Fabric in what we have as data science. Now, for data science, we use it for building, for training, and deploying machine learning models using notebooks and what? Integrated machine learning tools. We also have data warehouse, which is the core component of what? Of or the core component or tool that is being used by what? Database administrator. So go are those days that we run our SQL on premises. As of today, we now have the facilities to run our SQL syntax in the cloud, right? So we also have what we call real-time analytics. I have a lot of friends that they call themselves that okay, their new jobs now are what? Are real-time analytics. Because when you're talking about traditional ways of dealing with data in terms of analytics, gone are those days that in terms of transactional data, it has to be historical. That is, it has to be connected, then later being processed. But with the advent of technology and with the advent of innovations, people are now asking, look, I can't wait for any minute. I want to see the result of what is happening. And that's why the issue of real-time analytics KQL came about. That is, oh, we are looking at streaming data and want to see what is happening at the moment. We also have what we call Power BI. Power BI, we use it for what? For creating reports, dashboards, and visual analytics, which is now being integrated into what? Into Fabric platform. Of course, we also have what we call data activator, which is being used to trigger an action based on changes on pattern in your data. For example, you can say, okay, give me a particular threshold. That is, if this threshold is attained, something must happen or something should not happen. For instance, now I can set up my work environment that, okay, if I'm not at office, if I'm not doing a particular thing at a time, then something else should not be done. So now I can activate that trigger. That's okay. When this is being fulfilled, then this is what's supposed to be followed. So why Microsoft Fabric is a game changer, right? I've talked about what has happened in the past in terms of traditional ways of dealing with data. I also told you what Microsoft has been able to offer and why it has been a better solution. And now we want to see why Microsoft is a game changer, right? Why is it providing the kind of solution that the world needs today? Now, what are those things that it has offered? Now, Microsoft Fabric provides a unified analytics platform, which I've mentioned earlier. It offers OneLake, which is a single data lake. Now, the idea is that, like we have in Microsoft Words or M365, Microsoft 365, that we have OneDrive. That OneDrive is this online storage that houses all other information that we have in the Microsoft 365 environment. So now with this one, we now have what we call OneLake, which is a single source of truth that help us to unify our data within one environment. So Microsoft Fabric also offers support for multiple workloads that I've mentioned earlier in terms of data engineering, in terms of database administration, in terms of data science, in terms of some other roles that it offers. It also has built-in Power BI integration. It has direct lake mode for high performance. It has integration with Microsoft ecosystem. It also has a simplified data governance with Microsoft Purview, which makes Microsoft Purview. All right. So now let us look at some few demos. In the demo, what we want to see is that how do we have access to Microsoft Fabric? I've talked about Microsoft Fabric. I've talked about what it can offer. I've talked about its advantage over others. We now want to see how we can access Microsoft Fabric platform. We also look at exploration of Microsoft Fabric environment. That is, after accessing the platform, what are the things that we can check therein? And also, we will close up our demo with a creation of a new workspace. How do we create a new workspace? All right. So now, in this demo, let me take you to my browser. Uh, just a moment. Let me take you to my browser so that we can see my browser so that we can see that environment. Just a moment. Um, yes. Out. All right. So my uh, it's also important to note. Let me note it here. It is extremely important that if you want to access to Microsoft Fabric, the following conditions must be fulfilled. Number one, you must have a Microsoft account. You must have a Microsoft account, right? In terms of username and password, you must have a Microsoft account, right? So, which is in term of username, um, username and password. In terms of username and password. Then number two, because the platform is subscription based, It is not free, it is subscription based. You must have what we call a tenant. You must have a tenant. A tenant is just like a subscription that an organization makes in order to have a space within the cloud service provider, within the cloud service provider services. Now, you must have a tenant, and your tenant must has subscription. Subscription, right? So your tenant must has a subscription. A subscription is a kind of payment you made in order to have access to cloud service provider, the services of cloud service providers. All right. You must also take note that you have what we call the login details. The login details, which is a https colon double forward slash apps, right? Apps dot fabric dot fabric dot microsoft dot fabric dot microsoft dot com. Yes. So that is the link to have access to the Microsoft Fabric platform. Microsoft Fabric platform. http colon double forward slash apps dot fabric dot microsoft dot colon. So with this, you should be able to have access to an account. Maybe your IT department has created for you. Right. So that is that. And after that, you will be able to have access to what we call Microsoft Fabric platform. Microsoft Fabric platform. So of course, after having access, what is next? What is next is to do a kind of exploration of Microsoft Fabric environment. Exploration means what? I want to check what we have. We want to check, maybe you have a data set. You want to see how the data set is looking like. Then you want to know what is where and how best you can make use of the configuration settings uh, of the tenant, right? So, and uh, we also need to explore the Microsoft Fabric environment. So from the Fabric environment, we want to see what is where and how they are being positioned. We'll see that playing out very shortly during the course of the demo. And thirdly, we'll be creating a new workspace, right? We'll be creating a new workspace. All right, let me take you back to my uh, let me take you back um, to my browser. Just a moment. Um, all right. Okay, creation of a new workspace. Let me share this. Um, where is my share? Okay. Um, Let me drop this one, share something else. Um, please, guys, if you have any questions, please them. I will answer them during the course of Q&A. All right. So let me share again. What I intend to share now is yeah, what I intend to share now is my browser. Okay, perfect. Now, so the idea is that Anytime you want to have access to Fabric, um, what should be the web address, which I just told you just now. It has to be https, it has to be https colon dot app dot fabric dot microsoft dot com, and from there you should be able to, you know, to access it. So as it is rolling now, the next thing I should be asked is my username and password. But because I frequently visit this place, that is why I'm not being asked. It is not doing me any favor, but because I'm used to this environment often and often, that's why I'm not seeing the username and password. If there's anybody here that is not having username and password, the person will not be able to have access to this interface. All right. So now this is now the interface. We can look at some of the things that we have. If you look at the left side and you look at the app launcher, you will see that Microsoft Fabric is one of the components of what? Of Microsoft 365. It's one of the components of Microsoft 365. So the idea now is that if you have Office Microsoft 365, and you check the applications that you have access to, so if it covers um the Microsoft 365 applications, if it covers Fabric, then it means that you have the capability or the access to use Microsoft 365, Microsoft 3 um, Microsoft Fabric. But if it is not having, it means that you don't have access to that application. And how does the access come about? It's come about by, specifying. Um, yeah, it comes about specifying the kind of subscriptions and the kind of services that I want to use the Fabric environment for. All right. So that is that. The number two is that if you look up here, you see some items. For instance, now I'm being told that I'm on Fabric trial and it remain 55 days. So if I have any other settings that I want to do, I just come to the first first item here, and what does it tell us? It tells us about what information as regard what we have put on pen when we are filling our forms, and when we are filling um, other things that we need to do in the in the Fabric. Okay, so now we can now see that we have different items by the left hand side. We have home, we have workspaces. Workspace is just like what? It's just like a container that helps you to organize your items, to organize your items. Consider it like a bigger folder. Yes, a work environment that you can put in all other items that we are working on. So we have workspaces here. We have OneLake catalog. We have monitor to know which operations are we working on. Has it been successful? Has it been any issue? We also have what we call real-time intelligence. We have workloads. We have mic spaces and some other items that we can explore. So now the idea is that this is the interface. And if there's anything that we need to do, we just come, is either we come to this left side or we go to what? We go to the search bar to look for anything that is of importance to us. So I think that is clear. So the next thing is that uh, before we start operations, it is good that we bring in our data or we bring in any kind of analysis that we are doing by having uh, our workspace being created, right? We need to create our workspace as a start point. And what is what is a lake house? A lake house is just a storage capacity that help us to manage um, our funds, right? So now the idea is that when we create a new workspace, uh, it will help us to do what, to manage all other items that we have, and that will link us to um, our demo, which is on what, how to create a new workspace. So the first thing to be created is a new workspace, because that is where you are saving almost everything that you want to be doing on what, on Microsoft Fabric environment. So now, for me to create a new workspace, I come here. Is either I come here and I click a new workspace, or um, I go to workspaces, and from workspaces I click on new workspace. So please be mindful. Workspace is uh, where you keep your uh, project, like just like a jet folder. So for tonight, let me call my own as what, um, demo. I want to call my workspace as demo. So let me write workspace demo. So that's the name. So workspace demo is the name. Workspace underscore demo. So maybe that's the name of a workspace that I'm about to create. So do I have any narration or any description that I write about that workspace? For me, I don't have anything. Just leave it there by default. Um, this one is asking us that do we have any image that we want to upload. I think I have one close by. Let me check. Um, all right. So no, the idea is that we want to see if we have any picture that we can insert here. I think I have one. Let me check if I've not deleted it. I think it should. Yes, this one. So the idea with this is that anytime you are looking for your workspace, it will be very easier to to locate. Now, if you click on advanced, advanced is telling you some other parameters, right? So which of the licensing mode are you working on? Do you want to make it as a professor, as a pro, or you want to make it as a trial, or you want to make it as what, premium per user, or you want to make it as what, premium capacity, and what have you. So all these are different licensing mode. As at now that I'm working on trial mode. So I will leave my own as trial. Now here it's also telling me that, okay, am I creating a workspace solely for myself, or I'm creating a workspace that other people can also join me, and we can work together in collaboration. So depending on what you intend to use it for, then that will necessitate what and which people do you add to your workspace that you have created. So for now, it is only me, and I want to make it trial, and I'm clicking on apply. So my workspace is loading. As at now, I've been able to create a workspace. So by next time, which is likely tomorrow, that we are taking module 2 on episode 2 of this study series, you will see that the color uh, of the logo will always be there for us to see, and we do pray that we have any cost to look for any missing workspace. And that's why when you have picture attached to it or you have a logo attached to it, it will be easier for you to track. All right, so we have been able to see how we can create how we can create a workspace, which is a demo workspace, and we have also been able to learn more about the kind of interface that we have. So under this workspace, we have different activities that we can perform. For instance, if I click on new item, so a new item means um, um, what is the operation that I want to perform, right? Or which service do I need to perform that operation? And I get notification for that. That okay, I've clicked on new item and I got this notification. So it is now left for me to ask the new item that okay, this is a particular thing that I'm looking for. So the idea is that uh, the president has so the idea is that we are sure that we want to create a new item, and we come here to search for that item of instance. Now if I want to create data flow gen 2, is either I look for where data flow gen 2 is from this list, or I come to the search bar and I type data flow gen 2, data flow gen 2. So as the case may be, right? So but we are not, we are not using any one of the items tonight. Maybe by next class we should be able to make use of one or two items, right? So that's what we have in the demo. Let me take you back to um, our slide where we were before. Just a moment. All right. Okay. So just let me drop. Um, Let me stop sharing and instead share my slide. All right. So I want to share again, and this time around, I want to share um, my slide. All right. So in the course of the demo, we have seen how to access Microsoft Fabric platform. We have also seen how we can explore the Microsoft Fabric environment, and also how we can create a new workspace. All right. So recap, under this particular episode, we have looked into how, what has transpired in terms of different data professionals, the kind of tools that they used to have, the kind of challenges that they have faced in the past. And we have also seen how Microsoft Fabric has been enabled to manage and bring everybody together, not to work in silos again. All right. So, um, if there are questions, please let me know if there are questions so that I can address them. You can drop it on the chat so that I pick them up and I provide answers. Um, okay, so if there are questions, please let me know so that we can address them accordingly. All right. So, in the absence of no questions, um, in the next session of this story of this episode, we'll be looking into lake house and warehouse, and also get informed if we need to choose any one of them. Is it lake house that I need? Because lake house and warehouse, they look alike, right? So, but we may need to take a decision at any point in time. Like if an organization is reaching out to me that, okay, we are thinking about doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. I can quickly recommend that, okay, if it is about all the services that are needed, then it is better you use this service, whether it is a lake house or a data warehouse. Right. So that will be our focus in the next edition of this series. So I want to thank you so much for being part of this training. And if you have any questions, please make use of my contact details. Make use of my contact details. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me on Twitter. You can reach out to me on YouTube. You can reach out to me on GitHub. Any one of them, I'm very much available for engagement, for interactions. Right. All right. So thank you so much, and we'll see you again in the next. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you, and bye bye.